All right, so let's talk about the first light beacon and how to actually get it installed in the settings that are in it. This is not a strategy video. This is just a tutorial on the actual indicator. So once you have it installed through the control center, you go to your chart, right click on the indicators or hit Control I, and then we'll click on our first light beacon indicators here, and then we'll go to first light beacon. This is our main flagship indicator, and we're going to go over that real quick. So once we get it on there, you're going to have some settings. Sensitivity, typically just leave it at 4. Trade mode, this is session and time based. Session is going to allow this name session zones to work. You're going to have New York, London, Asia, pre-market, 350 algo, 10 to 1030, or midnight zone. Okay. And then if you want to use the time-based zones, we will select time-based zones. And then we'll go in here and we can select what time we want them on. I typically like 4 hour. So just to show you what it does, we'll go to session, we'll go to New York, and we'll hit apply, and you'll see that now we have a New York zone of the first light beacon. Then you're gonna, every New York zone is gonna start printing, and this is gonna print with the candles. We're on 15-minute candles here, but if we were to drop down to, I don't know, say 5 minutes, you're gonna see even more definition in the zones. The colors, we're gonna go over that in a second, but here you are. Here's 5-minute candles. So we're breaking up, we're going green, we know that we're bullish, whatever. That's during New York session. And then we're going to go over colors. My favorite actually is 4 hour zones here. So I'm going to put that on. So we're going to go, you can turn on the buy line, sell line, 50% line on these zones here. I don't have them on, but you can, and you can change the colors to whatever you want. Then the dynamic fill, you can turn those off, and you can just, just have the actual zones on if you want. It's just however you like to look at it. And now, but the zone coloring is what's important. First of all, legacy is our original coloring. It's just you pick the color you want the zone to be in, and that's it. FLB regime is the color based on trade shield. It's telling you if you should be looking for longs or shorts based on green or red, and or don't be in the trade if it's gray. And then order flow is based on footprint charts, and we're actually pulling footprint data and putting it into the indicator. Right here, you have a order flow, no tick data using OHLCV approximation. If you're not getting tick data for some reason, it's going to print that, and it's going to approximate based on using the OHL CV method instead of actual tick data. Rarely ever happens, but if you see it, then there's actually something going on with your data. You need to pay attention, maybe talk to your broker or whatever. So we come down here, and then we have more settings. These are just your color settings for the zones and the lines, and the actual fill color for the zone if you use legacy. Beacon line, this is our kind of like no lag moving average. I actually use it a lot to go into the zone and out of the zone, and that kind of gives me confirmation that we're actually leaving and looking for scalps like that. And then we have, let's go into the other ones. We have the super smoother. So we'll turn off, well, we can leave it on. The super smoother is basically our take on a linear regression, and that's kind of what it's doing. So if you're using the super smoother, this isn't a strategy video, but just showing you, if you're above it and you're seeing rejections from the beacon line out of the zones while you're above super smooth, and this is green and all that, I mean, just look at the move. These are 5-minute candles. So this is a pretty good scalp if you're a scalper on NQ. Now let's go into, and this is the 4 hour zones, but let's go further into the list here. And then we have trade shield, and that is up here. You're going to see trade shield turned on, and it's going to have these X's, green or bullish or bearish. It's going to tell you which direction you should be trading based on our trade shield method, which is, I mean, 70% of the time, like over 3,000 plus days, it's accurate, telling you direction. And it's using our daily zone to figure that out. And if you turn this on, you can actually see the daily zone. And this is actually the daily candle turned into our proprietary zone here. And you can trade the whole day like that. So like just trailing it down, you can catch most of the movement. This was the previous day we knew to go bullish. So Trade Shield is using this information to tell you up here that you know we're bullish and you should be looking for buys, right? So that's what that's for. There's a dim mode. You can dim the candles if we're not in a mode to trade. And then the order flow settings right here, default is fine. I mean, you can mess with it if you know kind of what you're doing, but default works just fine. Labels, whatever, this is going to show you interval labels or previous zones. Status table up here tells you what zone you're actually on the top right. And then you can set the size for the table, whatever, you know, it's not very, there you go. So it tells you right there, current zone 1 day. And that is pretty much it for the first light beacon. Simple and stateful. This is for rejection modes. This is alert systems that are put in, that we're putting in, and they're not in yet, but we are building them and to let you know things are happening. Trading view is where I use all my alerts for everything because their alert system's just the best I think there is. And it allows you to, you know, do all kinds of customizing, really simple, really easy. It's a little harder to get alerts working on NinjaTrader, but we still do it. But that is the first light beacon. The trick is, because a lot of people will say, well, how do I see multiple zones? Well, it's really easy. We're just going to come on here and install it twice, right? So we're going to come on here and put first light beacon on. So we're going to have a daily zone, right? And then we're going to have a, say we wanted a, I don't know, we can go into a midnight candle zone or something like that. See? And you can see the difference. Now, if they're in a line with each other, then, you know, they're breaking away, then we're looking for really good trades. Typically they are aligned with each other, but not always. Like this right here, they get in line with each other. And that's kind of typically when you notice there's a lot of chop. You see this right here where they're breaking apart, price moves, right? So you can do that. And then you can go into whatever kind of candle you or zone you want. There's 45-minute zones. And you'll see a daily, right? So if you're below daily, you know to be bearish. And then if you drop below the 45, you know that it's confirmed drop typically, right? And you're under the super smooth and then your beacon line's red and dropping and it's rejecting. So, you know, that's kind of how you use it by yourself. But that's it for the first light beacon little tutorial. We're going to keep building on to this and making it better for everybody. And then getting all the alert systems in, just that TradingView has into NinjaTrader at some point. If you have any questions, just let us know in the Discord. So I almost forgot about talking about end caps. So these are really big candles. So let's actually drop down to more of an intraday type thing. We'll just go with 15. All right. So end caps are the area where the new zones are formed, and there are a really good chance that price is actually going to come down and tap into those things. And that's actually one of our main strategies, is breaking the end cap rejection. It's called an ERE. And it's really simple. We either use a pending order or we wait for price action to show us that it's leaving. We get into our trade, and then that's our stop loss, right? And if you notice, this is the 4-hour zone. So you get 4 hours. We have really nice wicks on these 4 hours. And we have ways to know, well, not know, but we'd be billionaires if we knew, but which zones to actually use, the time to use, and stuff like that. So like here's one right here, breaks down, we're actually bearish in trade shield, we reject this zone up here, we get our pullback, there's our entry. So it's giving you an entry, defined risk, and take profits. So you know, this is 2 to 1 right here, and it drops down, and there's your trade right there. And you can use this on 10-minute, 5-minute, 40 minutes, and a week, whatever you want to do. And you can scalp with this. So here's 15-minute zones, and we can a lot of people use the 15. Look at these rejections here off the zones. This is why this is patent pending. This is why it's proprietary, because these are very real. This is very real information that is being presented to you, and all you have to do is be patient and wait for it to hit. And I can't guarantee anything, but you're going to have a good time. All right. If you have any questions, let us know.